All right, hi, welcome to another Milestone CrossFit Coaches Notes. This one should be short and sweet. There's not too many crazy things going on this next week at Milestone CrossFit. Again, I am telling you all of my stimuluses and ideas and goals for the workouts here so that you can better coach the workouts without me having to type all of that stuff into Wodify and everybody read that. So it's your job as coaches to kind of tell everyone what the goal and the purpose of these movements and metcons and workouts and strength things are for this whole next week. So starting Monday, press cycle week 6. We have this week a week 7, and then the next week will be a test week. So just keep that in mind. This week we're gonna push together our push presses and our split jerks. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do 2 push presses into 2 split jerks. The weight of that, they're gonna use their 3 rep max push press and go 90-ish%. So it'll feel heavy. They'll do 2 push presses into 2 split jerks. So what this is doing, one is it's getting good push press reps in at a high weight, and then allowing them to, under fatigue, work that split jerk at most likely a moderate weight for most people. Based on the numbers I saw for the push press 3 rep max and a split jerk 1 rep max, this will probably be somewhere between 60 and 80% for most people in the split jerk. So 2 reps is doable. They're going to be pre-fatigued though, so we want 2 really nice push press reps and then 2 really nice split jerk reps working on that technique and form. We're pre-fatiguing the arms and kind of that explosive up power before we get into the split jerks. So while we're getting good push press reps in, the focus here this week is split jerks under fatigue. The workout on Monday is 3 rounds for time. We're doing 20 front squats at 135, 95 pounds, and then 7 muscle ups. So this one really is kind of a pre-fatigue into those muscle ups. So we're doing 20 front squats at, for most people, a moderate to heavy weight. We want to be able to do those in either 2 sets of 10 or 3 sets. So we're looking at, I wouldn't recommend anyone doing 20 right out of the gate. I have done workouts before where there are high rep back squats or front squats at a lighter weight, and doing them all unbroken right out of the gate is not a good strategy for most people unless they're in a competition. So since we're not competing in a competition on Monday, I would try to get people to do this into 2 sets, maybe like 12 and 8 or 11 and 9, or maybe even 15 and 5, or doing them in like 3 sets of like 7, 7, 6 or something like that. They can use the rack if they want to, but probably with this weight, going from the floor would be easiest. Squat cleaning that first one is totally a-okay in this workout. And then we're doing 7 muscle ups. So that's really the goal here, is kind of working through those muscle ups under fatigue again. So we're pre-fatiguing our system, our upper back, our front rack, our arms, our legs with those front squats, and then going into some muscle up high skill work. So these can be done on rings, they can be done on the bar. Those are totally fine with the muscle ups. If someone would like to use a box or lower the rings and do muscle up transitions, so if they want to do jumping muscle ups, or they would like to do the muscle up transitions where you just kind of like lean back on the rings and then pull up over them, which would look like this. So nice muscle up transition would look something like leaning back against these rings. I can't go all the way back, but then pulling here and jumping up to a support and coming back down. So that nice kind of in range of a ring row position, pulling into that muscle up, into that support, dipping back down if they would like to do those instead to practice that transition. Or they can do pull-ups and dips, or ring rows and dips, feet assisted dips. They want to do kipping or strict pull-ups, they want to do ring rows, that's fine. But instead of just scaling down from muscle up to pull up, we're going to do pull up plus dip. So they can do 7 pull-ups into 7 dips. They could do a pull-up and a dip, a pull-up and a dip. They can do this off a bench, off a box, on the rings if they felt like it. However they want to do those. If they wanted to do ring pull-ups and then ring dips, that's also fine. You need 2 different sets of rings for that though, obviously. But yeah, so trying to make this a little higher skill for everyone instead of just saying, here's your muscle up standard. If you can't do that, you're doing pull-ups. If you can't do pull-ups, you're doing ring rows. So we're gonna add in that dip. So they can do muscle ups, bar or ring. They can do muscle up transitions. So a nice real far end of a ring row hollow position, looking for this nice position, pulls that transition into a press, back down through that dip into that hollow position again. Or they can do pull-ups and dips, a dip version they want to do. So that could be on the end of that GHD, it could be off of boxes, on the rings. They wanted to put a bar across one of the J hooks and do bar dips. Or if they wanted to get a box and put it underneath one of the bars, get on top of the bar and do bar dips, they could. Or they can do ring rows and dips. You can obviously do feet assisted dips if that's what it needs to be. If someone can't do dips from a shoulder issue, then we're gonna do push-ups. So they'll do a push-up, still a big tricep exercise. Dip is a big tricep exercise. So it's only for people who have some sort of injury where they can't do a dip. Usually that's gonna be a shoulder injury that they can't do a dip. If they still can't do dips because of some sort of injury, whether that be shoulder or tricep or whatever, if they can't do dips, they can't do push-ups, then just cut out the dip. But that's gonna be a rare occasion. I think everybody that comes on Mondays is gonna be able to do either muscle up transition, or pull up dip, ring row dip. So both of these on Monday are working on pre-fatigue into something more skill-based, to try to get that skill working under fatigue. So some people probably don't have these skills when they're fresh, but what I find is working skills under fatigue can help you learn them when you're fresh. A lot of people figure out push jerks when they're fatigued. They do push presses, they can't figure out that drop underneath the push jerk, then they get super tired and they push it up and they drop under it just because they're so tired and they're like, oh, I got it. So usually when we get fatigued, just double unders, push presses, some gymnastics movements, when our brain just thinks I'm so tired and it stops thinking about all the mechanics, then people start to understand and they start to get movements because their body just does what it's supposed to do and does what their brain is telling them instead of all of the cross signals and mixed messages. So we're working on pre-fatiguing skill exercises on Monday. So goal would be using a pretty heavy push press that is a moderate split jerk. And then goal would be doing front squats that I can do in 2 or 3 sets. Nothing heavier where I'm doing singles or 2s or 3s. We don't want to take forever on those front squats because the goal is the muscle ups and then working those muscle ups under a full body fatigue. Tuesday is our kind of AMRAP rest workout day. So we've got kind of a building AMRAP, if you will. We're gonna do some wall walks, burpees, and power snatches in the first 5 minutes. We're gonna rest 2 minutes. We're gonna do a 5-minute AMRAP of burpees, power snatches, and box jumps. Rest 2 minutes, and then we're gonna do a 5-minute AMRAP of power snatches, box jumps, and push presses. So the goal, what we're working on here are these power snatches. So we start with 3 power snatches in the first AMRAP. Everything is 3 reps, then we go to 4 reps, then we go to 5 reps. So instead of this being a decreasing kind of pyramid where we might go from like 10 reps to 1 rep, or we go from like super heavy something down to light, we're kind of turning that upside down. So we're going from less reps, less kind of skill things to higher reps, kind of more skilled things. Nothing is crazy like high skill in this. Nothing is crazy heavy in this. We're just working kind of on that building as we go. Again, these little AMRAPs are meant to be sprints in their own right. So as I'm doing this workout, I'm thinking this is the only AMRAP I'm doing, ignoring the other 2, and then getting that 2-minute rest to recover, and then performing that second one, being like, this is the only AMRAP I'm doing today. So really working on that ability to recover and ability to keep going, even though the reps are getting larger and harder. So what we'll see with that first AMRAP, wall walks and burpees are really gonna fatigue those shoulders as we go into those power snatches. And again, that kind of pre-fatigue going into those next 2 AMRAPs, but then we kind of lose those shoulder exercises as we keep going, where we start to do burpees, power snatches, into box jumps. So now we're looking at those legs. So we went from a really heavy shoulder first one to now a leg heavy second AMRAP. And then we go back to that third one, which is more of a balanced body AMRAP, where we've got power snatches, which are full body, box jumps, which are lower body, and push-ups, which are upper body. So goal for this one is just kind of, can I keep going and can I sprint those AMRAPs? Wednesday, I'm super excited about. It's a weakness EMOM. So I've been programming the kind of choose your own adventure EMOMs where there's been preset movements in them. This week, there's no preset movements. It's just gonna be everybody gets to pick 3 things they wanna work on that day, 3 things they struggle with, and do 3 to 8 reps of those each minute for a 20-minute EMOM with a 1-minute rest in between. So for example, me, I struggle with pull-ups, I struggle with high box jumps, and I struggle with, let's say, handstand push-ups. So for me, doing maybe 5 pull-ups in some sort of easily achievable rep scheme. So say I can do pull-ups, but I have to do one at a time, and that's my struggle. I might try to do two sets of 2, and that's it. Just working on linking 2 pull-ups every single time. For box jumps, if people are scared to do box jumps, maybe they do step up, box jump, step up, box jump. For me, it's box jumps taller than 24 inches. So I might do my first 2 sets at 24 inches and then add like a 10-pound plate and do box jumps at those. And then handstand push-ups. Even with pull-ups or pretty much any movement, you can do a negative. So if they've got some leg imbalance issues and they want to do like negative pistols off a box, if they want to work on single leg pistols, if they want to work on, you can just do the negative, put your foot down, stand back up. You can handstand push-up, negative to the floor, kick down, stand back up, whatever they want to work on. If this is a day where they just want to have fun and they're like, I don't want to work my weaknesses, I just want to come in and do an EMOM of cleans. Also cool, it's their EMOM, they can do that, but trying to pick something they have a weakness with and doing 40 seconds of work each minute and then having a minute rest. This will also be a good time for you as coaches because you can really focus in and be like, this is your weakness, I'm here to help you. So we've got some people in the gym I know who are working on pull-ups and muscle-ups. Great for them to do this weakness EMOM and for you to watch them and be like, okay, next time try this, next time try this. So this is really good practice for you as coaches and practice for them as athletes. Wednesday, we have our deadlift cycle. This is the only thing I think I need to show you really this week. So we're gonna do some isometrics. So what that means is they're going to set the J hooks up of their rig right back there, right about 1/4 of a thigh height. I don't know what you call this, above the knees, like right about here is where the J hook should be. What we're gonna do is they're gonna pick up that barbell and put it right underneath the J hooks. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna pull as hard as we can. 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi, 10 Mississippi. So what we're looking for is kind of that sticking point. So we want the barbell to end up right about here on their thighs above their knees, or even right here, kind of at this launch position in a clean or a snatch. The 2 biggest sticking points when someone's deadlifting is 1, getting it off the floor to start with, 2, right above the knee, and then 3, right at those hips, getting those hips through. So what we want this week, I think for most people, it would be best right above the knee. This is where we start to lose it when our hips have to start coming through. Because in that deadlift, we're coming up, 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 up. Then we're coming through. So we want the bar to be right above our knees. So those J hooks up to where when you pull against the bar, the bar ends up right above their knees. And they're just gonna pull as hard as they can and hold for 10 seconds. So they're doing kind of that isometric work, which is really strengthening. We've done a lot of eccentrics, we've done a lot of concentrics. So we're working on that isometric strength to kind of show my body like, I can keep pulling, I can keep pulling this, I can keep pulling this. And then what we'll do is next week, we'll go back to some increasing weights. And I think these isometrics will really help people, especially if they're feeling a little worn down, beat up, their back's hurting a little bit. These should help because we're not actually pulling heavy weight off the floor. We're just pulling as hard as we can against something. Isometrics are really good for learning certain movements. I think deadlifts and pull-ups are probably the 2 best examples. Doing like isometric chin over bar holds really strengthens all the upper body muscles, and these deadlifts will help them strengthen their deadlift as well. Workout for that day is gonna be our more accessory-based workout. So we're gonna do 3 rounds of 10 weighted glute bridges. That can be with a barbell with plates or a dumbbell or a kettlebell on their hips, however the athlete would like to do that. And then 10 floor presses, again, dumbbells or kettlebells, it's fine, just floor presses, whatever weights they wanna use on those. So if they wanna make it hard and go heavy, that's fine. If they wanna make it light and go easy, that's also fine. The next 3 rounds, they partner 3 rounds. They're gonna do 10 Nordic curls with a partner and then 10 side lateral med ball passes. We've done those side lateral med ball passes before. Since you're wearing the med ball and I'm turning and I'm throwing it to my partner, they're catching it and throwing it back to me, and I'm throwing it like this. So one partner's throwing like this, one partner is catching and tossing it back, right? The Nordic curls, we've done these before with nausea when someone holds your feet. So if I got on the floor and I was partner 1, partner 2 would hold my feet down, and then I would try to lengthen myself out as long as I could, coming all the way down to the floor, and then pressing myself back up, but using all these hamstrings. So I obviously don't have a partner with me today, but I hope that makes sense. Someone's holding your feet, and you are trying to lower your body down all the way to the ground and bring yourself back up just using your hamstrings and your legs. For 90% of our gym, That's gonna mean leaning forward and catching myself with my hands and then using my hands to press off. So I'm not doing a push-up with my hands, I'm kind of pressing myself back off the floor with my hands, but still trying to use my hamstrings to come back up as much as possible. Friday, we have another partner WOD. It has toes to bar, row, and double unders in it. So normal standards for those, if someone can't do toes to bar, they can do knee raises. If they don't want to do knee raises, they could do V-ups. For double unders, go single unders, go double the reps. But what we're looking at is they're doing the same number of reps each set. We're just changing the rep scheme. So they're doing 2 rounds of 24, 3 rounds of 16, and 4 rounds of 12. So it's just a little fun way to kind of get things going. And with it being a partner WOD, we should have enough rowers for everyone to do this all at the same time. Then Saturday the 17th, if you are coaching and you don't want to do this workout, get with me. We can make up a workout for you. As long as you don't do anything pressing overhead on Saturday, you're most likely going to be A-okay. But Saturday we have a team WOD of 3 to 5 people, 30-minute AMRAP where they're doing 10 rope climbs total as a team, 20 burpee box jump overs total as a team, 30 devil press total as a team, 40 sandbag squats total as a team, and 50 cow row total as a team. So if there's 5 people, then you split it by 5. If there's 3, split it by 3. If they want to do it in 2, split it by 2. Just 30-minute AMRAP. How many times can we get through that? With the sandbag squats, it's going to be a bear hug squat. So we're going to pick up the sandbag and put it here. I know there are at least 2 or 3 at the gym. If they don't have sandbags, they can do plate squats. And if they don't want to do sandbag squats or plate squats, they could use a med ball and squat. We have some 20s and 30s that would be okay for a lot of people to do those. If they don't want to do that at all, they could do some back squats if they felt like it. Nothing like super heavy, because maybe the heaviest sandbag we have is probably 40 or 50 pounds. So probably something around there for back squats. That is all of next week. I thought this video was going to be a whole lot shorter than it was, but I told you what I'm looking for in each of these Metcons for you to be able to coach these perfectly and for all of our members to get the intended stimulus out of them. Excited to see this next week, guys.